This time we are joined by the head coach from the Troy Trojans, Chanda Rigby. Coach Rigby, if you could start off with a brief opening statement, please.
Hello, and thank you guys for being here. Thank you all. I thought this was a great women's basketball game today. When I got the opportunity to come to Troy, one of the things I wanted to do was carry on my style of just being sold out to try to make women's basketball more exciting, shoot a lot of shots, play a lot of different defenses. And I think both coaches were striving for that today. Of course, we both wanted to win, but it was a great game for women's basketball in general today, a great game for Sunbelt, I thought. Overall, I would just say that we knew we were the underdog coming in, and we fought like it. Every player on our team, even the ones that didn't go in, fought like it. We fought like underdogs, and we didn't take possessions off. If one player that we thought we were dependent on couldn't step up, somebody that we weren't expecting would step up, and it was a true team win. Amanda Mendoza was electrifying tonight. You know, it's a story behind her. She had a dream to play Division I basketball. She told me that every single place she tried to go told her she was too small, but she was born for moments like this. That old cliche, you have ice water in your veins. She's born for moments like this. She's going to sink the three. It doesn't matter about her size. So a lot of good stories and a lot of good things went into this win tonight. Wow, Arkansas State, I'm completely humbled to get this win against such a great program. Brian Boyer's done it the right way. He has a team of seniors that he's seeing through to graduation, that he's brought along and he's developed. And he's really done it the right way, and we really hope to see them get a bid in the NCAA tournament because we really believe they deserve it. But just to end the comments, I'm just thankful for the opportunity that Troy gave us to be here. Every girl on our team, every staff member, we're all very thankful for this opportunity to be in the Sun Belt Conference tournament. And, of course, to get this win, it's just even bigger.
This time we'll open it up to questions for Coach Rigby. Please wait for the microphone. We only have one coming from this side, so hold on for it.
Coach, you guys obviously started out really well in the first quarter, and it seemed like they got their bearings defensively in the second, and you guys came right back in the third quarter. What was the adjustment there just to really kind of get back to what you guys wanted to do?
He made a great adjustment because we were up by 9, and he went to a zone, and we thought we were prepared for it, but they went on at least a 10-0 something run where they came back on us. And they made a great adjustment. We only scored 8 points in that quarter, which was concerning. And then in the second half, he did a good job of changing his defense. I think on makes or miss, or we were trying to find the pattern of how he was changing them because we couldn't change our defense as well. They couldn't hear us on the floor. So I don't know how they were doing it, I guess off makes and miss, but they kept us. They were trying to keep us out of rhythm, but shooters were making shots, so it's hard to do that.
Coach, for this game, you had 48% the field goal, 91% free throw. Most days you'll take that.
I'll take it.
And most coaches will. On the three ball, 44% for the game, but 57% second half. I mean, have y'all had anything like that this year?
I think we were making up for what we did in the first game in the tournament when we shot 19%. But anyway, yes, we've shot well like that a couple times this year, and we always know we have the potential to do it. But potential's a scary word because you never know when it's going to show up. But yes, we have shot that well once or twice before.
Over here to the front.
With a big lead in the second half, the natural tendency for a lot of teams is to tighten up, slow down, not play loose. And your players never seem like that ever happened to them. Just talk how much of a credit is that to them that they kept playing the same way?
Sometimes if the coach will get out of the way, a team can win. And I learned that earlier this year. We went on a very bad slide in conference play where we lost 6 excruciatingly painful games. And that's one of the lessons we learned very painfully, that in a couple of those games, we had a lead, and I called timeout, and I tried to get us to slow it up and play smart basketball, and it just doesn't work for my team. We have to keep pushing. That's all we know. We learned that. It's a major mistake for us to slow up and try to appear to be smart, So I don't want to make any coaching adjustments. I just wanted to keep doing what we do and keep scoring.
Additional questions for Coach? Thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you all. See you tomorrow.
This time we're joined by the representatives from Arkansas State. We have head coach Brian Boyer, as well as number 5, Brittney Gill, and number 24, Aundrea Gamble. Coach Boyer, if you could please start off with a brief opening statement.
Well, the brief part of it would be, credit, all the credit goes to Troy. They just played a phenomenal game. One of those games where, they were just in attack mode. The entire game, they hit shot after big shot after big shot, and Just when they'd miss a shot, they seemed to get the offensive rebound. They just, sometimes it just comes down to it was their day. They were just a better basketball team than us. They hit bigger shots. They played really well, and it was going to take a tremendous effort for us to be able to beat them at the way they were playing today, and we were close, but just not enough.
This time we'll open it up for questions for the student athletes only. Once again, please wait for the microphone and please identify yourself by name and media outlet. Going to the left side.
JC, Red Wolf Roll Call. For you two both, they seem to just keep hitting big shot after big shot, had things fall. How frustrating did that become towards the end as the clock began to not be your friend?
It was really frustrating. I mean, it was all night, we couldn't get a stop. They just keep hitting big shots, and, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it was just their night, like Coach Boer said.
We're moving here to the right side.
Aundrea, you took a couple spills there in the second half. How were you feeling down the stretch? It looked like at one point you were holding your shoulder, and then I don't know when you were kind of diving for the loose ball, what happened? I mean, just kind of, were you feeling okay, and do you think that affected your play down the stretch at all? And
I mean, definitely when I fell, I did hurt my shoulder a little bit, but I just tried to play through it and, get through and do anything I could for the rest of the team.
Going back to the left side.
Brittney, you started off hot, 6 of 7, and then shots just stopped falling. Did you feel like at any point in time that maybe you started forcing it towards the end at all?
Yeah, I felt like I was just forcing it too much, and they was just like trying to face guard me then at the end.
Additional questions for the student athletes? We're going to slide over to the right again.
For either one of you, it seemed like they came out with a heck of a lot of energy today, and not saying you guys didn't, but did that, I don't know if that caught you guys off guard, or do you feel like you guys matched that today, I guess?
Well, we knew they would come out with a lot of energy. We tried to match it, but like I said, they were hitting big shots in the first quarter. I mean, they scored 32 points in the first quarter, so it was tough. I mean, credit goes to them for, making those tough shots.
Go to the right there in the second row, then we'll go all the way back for the next question.
We mentioned the first quarter, they had 32 points. The third quarter, they had 32 points as well. And that's a quarter that you guys throughout the entire season have dominated. What did you feel like was maybe the biggest difference in the third quarter today as compared to the season?
We just didn't get stops. We weren't rotating quick enough. We weren't getting out to shooters. Our defense just slacked a lot, but credit to Troy for knocking down those shots.
The last question for the student athletes in the back left with the camera.
You guys were down 9. In the first half, you go on a run, you go up. You were up by as many as 8, and then it looked like you might have been tired. Like you had a layup, it was kind of short. Did you feel like the legs, like the energy that you guys exerted to get there, did you start to feel maybe that pace was, you were losing your legs a little?
I don't think I was losing my legs. I just think that on that particular layup, I thought that she was going to foul me, and I should have just went up a little bit stronger than what I did, and I didn't. But I wasn't losing my legs or anything like that. I just should have went up stronger.
And I guess I brought up that specific play, but do you feel like at any point, though, the pace, were you guys getting tired or looked at times like you might have been a little winded?
I mean, Troy's a fast team. They play up and down really well, and when you're trying to get back and go for the offensive rebounds and get back and, the pace gets a little tiring, but you got to push through it. And we did get a little tired because obviously they got some transition layups, and that's what happened.
Thank you, Brittney and Aundrea. You guys can head back to the locker room now. We'll open it up to questions for Coach Boyer at this time. We'll start on the left side.
Coach, obviously it didn't end the way you wanted it to, but it doesn't shed any light or damper anything that you've done all season long as far as now the waiting game. What would you say about your team to the NCAA committee at this point?
Well, again, we come into today, you're 39 RPI. You know, you've done everything you can do. You know, you hear all the time about, you know, teams that they don't challenge themselves non-conference. We did. You know, we played well in those games. We knocked off a Florida Gulf Coast team that's going to be in, I think we've done everything we can do. Last year we finished as a 45 RPI team, and we're the highest RPI team to not get in. We're 39 today. If we don't get it in, we're probably going to be the highest team to not get in again. And I know the years don't have any influence, from one year to the next, but I'd love nothing more for this team to get a shot at somebody in the NCAA tournament.
It looked like you guys found some answers defensively in that second quarter. What was the difference to start that third quarter? I mean, did you guys come out of something that you were doing, or was it just them kind of picking it back up? Or
no, we finally went to zone. We just went to zone in the second quarter just to break the rhythm and slow them down, and it worked. And honestly, and Joel brings up a good point. We've been a team. Our third quarters have been so good this year, and today it wasn't. I mean, because we came out and we started out in zone. They hit some threes. We switched to man. That didn't work. And by that point, they had enough energy going that it didn't matter which we switched to. It had no effect on them whatsoever. They hit shots regardless.
Back up to the front left.
How tough is the waiting period to the selection show going to be? I mean, 5 seniors, 3-time player of the year. It's the one thing that they haven't gotten to yet is the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I don't know that the waiting is, honestly, I don't know that, having a couple days now just probably for everybody to rest and, will be good for everybody. It's unfortunate because you don't want to rest this time of year, but it'll be good for everybody. And, I've said all year long, I mean, and I know people are going to, as you should, we get what was at stake here, and you lose in the second round tournament. But our team, we've taken on a mentality. We've been playing in our tournament for the last 30 games. We felt like every time we've stepped on the floor all year long has been a tournament game for us. And, we've handled it really well all year long. And, today was just, and I know it sounds like just a basic, but it just was Troy's day. They just hit shot after shot. And, we've all seen in those games where you just, right when you feel like you might be making it, they banked in 2 shots in the fourth quarter, and that's to their credit. They had everything going, the confidence, everything going their way, and we could just never get it out of them, could never get them slowed down.
Time for one more on the right side.
Coach Rigby made a comment that they went into the game knowing that they were the underdogs and kind of played like that, and with the energy that they started with. I mean, what was your kind of impression of just kind of how they started and just kind of their mentality? And kind of you mentioned it was going to take a heck of a lot to beat them today. Did they play like that with regard to their energy from the start, you thought?
Well, I think they played typical Troy. They played downhill all day. They were so fast, but they play that way all the time. I don't think that's any different today. But the difference is that in the previous 2 games we've been able to get at least a few stops there, and we like to play that way too. But we could never get out in transition because we were taking the ball out every single possession. We never were able to get turnovers or get out and get stops and get our transition going. And we always seemed like we were going against their set defense, and that's a hard thing to do against them with the way they score.
Can I just ask one quick question? Coach,
Sure.
What did you say to your players, especially your seniors, in the locker room following that loss?
There wasn't much to be said. I just, there was no conversation. Usually we have conversations as coaches. It just went right in there, and it's just like, let's just be here together. Just hang out. Let's just be here together. There's, we'll talk more in the big picture once this is all over with of, all the great things this team has accomplished. And, the only thing I just told the players is, just win our day. They hit every shot they could hit, and we made some mistakes. And we didn't do the things we needed to do at times, but even when we did, they still hit some shots today. It just was, Troy just played a phenomenal basketball game today, a great basketball game today.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you.